Greetings everyone, meet the HP OMEN 25i monitor, which is set to release in the US July 2021, and it has an MSRP of $349 US. Now I can't wait to see what their sale prices look like on this, because this is it's definitely my favorite 1080p monitor I've ever used. But yeah, you heard that correctly, it's actually full HD, so what's so great about it then? Well, it's very feature rich, let me explain. This has the world's most customizable crosshair with 248 different options that can also be dynamic to provide the best contrast per what's on screen for optimal visibility. This was very unique, and it took me a little while to get used to it just because it was so different, but it did work, and I thought it was great. Now it also has the world's first monitor with Game Remaster mode. Now this is a great way to enjoy old titles as it will enhance the color and improve aliasing. This is a filter built into the display and is not software based. This can be used on any title, but was essentially built for older titles at lower high definition resolutions. You also have shadow vision, which enhances details in dark areas without too much overexposure. There's also edge precision, which helps smooth and correct sharp images on screen. Perhaps this can enhance those open world titles with long draw distances. Some of you might actually like this on all of the time. Everything here can be controlled within the OMEN Gaming Hub software, which is downloadable at the Windows Store, or within the monitor's built-in on-screen display, making it great for video game consoles as well. Now, FreeSync worked on my son's PlayStation 5, but I was unable to activate 120 Hertz. I hope this can be addressed in a firmware update, and I have contacted HP, so once I get a definitive response, I will update the description and/or pinned comment. The 25i features up to a 165 Hz refresh rate with a 5 millisecond base response time and as low as 1 millisecond gray to gray with overdrive maxed out. Combine this with the adjustable MPRT or moving picture response time for the fastest response time without overshoot. This is something the 27i that I reviewed last year could not cope with, at least at the time I had tested it. Just a heads up, MPRT adjustment only works when adaptive sync is disabled. Adaptive sync, on the other hand, does cover the latest AMD FreeSync Premium Pro as well as NVIDIA G-Sync compatibility, which is how I have been enjoying the 25i as it is connected to a 2070 Super equipped OMEN 15. The panel itself is IPS, features HDR 400, has DCI-P3 color gamut at 90%, and I actually measured it at 91% using my Spider 5 Pro calibration tool. And to put that into perspective, most 1080p IPS displays have their P3 color closer to around 75%. This is a true 8-bit display, not 6+ FRC or frame rate compensation. Now the housing itself has very thin bezels on the top and sides, but only offers tilt, no swivel or height adjustment. Now I would prefer height adjustment myself, however this is a VESA mounted panel and you could definitely improve the location of the 25i to fit your environment better so it's not a total loss. Just be sure that your aftermarket mount can swivel its head 45 degrees. Now port selection includes 2 USB-As and an upstream USB, headphone, DisplayPort, HDMI, the barrel power port fed by an external 65 watt power supply. The upstream cable can also be used to upgrade the monitor's firmware when connected to a PC. This cable is included along with the DisplayPort cable. The stand itself is very stout, has a single hole for cable management and a place to hang your headphones. However, the mechanism that physically holds the VESA mount to the stand didn't want to click into place on my review unit. I needed to gently massage the plastic clip and spring a bit, and then it was fine. Just make sure you pay attention here and it fully seats or risk letting your panel fall on its face when you relocate it. The 25i has iEase with iSafe certification. Ultimately what this does is provide at least a 30% reduction of that high energy blue light without compromising the picture quality, and this is just something the display does on its own. Sustainability source packaging is 100% recyclable cardboard and is much easier to get to your monitor too. Having reviewed the 27i last year, this is a welcome change. Set that comparison aside, HP has been providing customers with sustainability sourced packaging for a while now. I'm proud of them for this. My wife is basically Captain Planet, and she's trained me well, so I have a high level of appreciation and respect for all things that are pro-sustainability. Overall, this is a feature-rich solution when combined with other OMEN products, provides a convenient ecosystem to tune and tweak your hardware. But it should work great with next-gen consoles as it offers all of the adjustability within the monitor's on-screen display. Alright, that was my review of the 25i from HP and their OMEN line. Now, I did review the 27i last year, and I will link that in the description below and at the end of this short commentary bit. If you want a larger monitor with a higher resolution, then obviously that's the one you would go with. I did find the 27i to have a little bit better build quality from the stand and how it just mounted to the display, as it was essentially bolted on and it came with an Allen key. That was nice. And once I got this seated in place, it's all the same to me essentially, as long as it connects and there's no issues. Great, but there was a bit of an issue there. Keep your eye out on it. There was no RGB on the back of this, whereas the 27i had that. If that's something you care about, you're probably not staring at the back of the monitor for too long, especially after the honeymoon phase wears off. I'm not trying to deter you from the 27i, but I'm just calling it how I see it. I think this is a better gaming display for the high refresh rate, low response time stuff, as there was a lot of overshoot on the 27i, and I had to compromise a few settings to make it as fast as I could. Meanwhile, this one is faster out of the gate. Now, 90% of us probably couldn't notice that, but for the 10% that can, makes this a better solution. And at 1080p, it's very easy to drive those frame rates. At 25 inches, the pixel density may not be quite as sharp as Quad HD at 27 inches, but I think most people are going to really enjoy what this has to offer, should an individual be looking for, essentially, well, what this has to offer. So I like this display. If it were my money on the line, I would absolutely prefer this, but many of you that have been following me for years know that I prefer 1080p anyway, as I am a high refresh rate snob. And this thing is quite a glorious panel with 91% the DCI-P3 color gamut. I think it's great. I just do. I can't help it. So links in the description below. HP is notorious for pushing out some great sales, and I look forward to everybody getting their hands on this thing and let me know what they think. That's it. I'm Bob of All Trades, and I hope to see you in the next video.